I'm gonna get him one of those, like, I'm gonna give him one of those extensions, like, you know what I mean? They can stick the thing in. It's super.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yo, you know the wild shit. I seen a lady the other day with one of them things on the end of her cigarette and shit. It was all long and shit. Now mind you, we in Lakewood, Washington. She looked like she just left the meth house. Why are you out here acting bougie? I'm just saying.
You gotta be her, you know what I mean? She gotta be.
Only smokes the best of the crack pipes.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had that shit open.
When you be dazzled your fucking
so
crack pipe, like that's too much. She got like rhinestone jewels on it and shit.
She doing the most. Hell yeah. She's a classy crackhead.
That's what we call the glam bam.
I'm not a crackhead. Crack is whack. Bro, that was one of the low points of my life.
She spelled
one of the low points of my life.
CRAQE.
Yeah.
She was like, this is crackhead.
Crackhead. Yo, the first time I heard fucking Tyra Banks, they was interviewing her. They was like, yo, where you get da from? She said, oh, I only shop at the best. I got this from Target. It was like, Target? Never heard of that. Target.
Yeah, she started that dumb shit.
I was like, yo, what the
people started talking like that, I was like,
so, Big Bojangles is huge in North Carolina. So my brother, I go home one time and I'm like, yo, let's go get something to eat. He's like, where? We want to go hit Bojangles? I said, what? Bojangles? What the fuck is that? I thought it was some new shit. Nah, they just trying to be fucking funny. But yeah, that shit was hilarious. I almost died. Shout out to Bojangles though, while you bullshit. And I do want to bring this up while I'm talking about Bojangles. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. Bojangles held Monster and myself down lovely while we was in North Carolina. Oh man, we was talking the other night, and I told you it was crazy to me when I moved out here and I seen Church's Chicken in Lakewood. I was like, Church's Chicken in Lakewood? Why? And I always thought that it was a very small. Like I never knew that there were Church's Chickens outside of North Carolina. Yeah. So for those of y'all that never had Church's Chicken, let me explain something to you. A, don't go to Church's. But B, if you gotta go to Church's, go see what's up there and order something that's not. You know why? So that way you make sure you get it hot. Now, and once you get it hot, I need you to eat it very quickly. Because if you let it get cold, the grease becomes, when you see a girl and you're like, damn, she thick. And then you see another girl like, oh, she even thicker. And you be like, oh, she overdid it. Church's Chicken, when it get cold, the grease overdo it. And it begins to feel like you're eating, I don't know. I can't really put it into words. It's almost like a science experiment is taking place in your mouth and you didn't sign up for it. Yeah, Lord, that works. So yeah, it bugged me out, but they got delicious biscuits.
No.
I might just go get some biscuits. I don't know. I'll just go get some biscuits. But this shit is a torch. Did you hear that? That shit was crazy.
I like that science experiment though. I like that science experiment you didn't sign up for. Yeah, because it changes in your mouth. It changes. It's like,
it changes in your mouth. Okay, yeah, we starting with the shit already. We starting with the shit already. Oh man. Now I know I didn't put it in the chat this week. And I meant to put it in the chat or put it on the doc, but I didn't. So y'all, I decided that I was gonna have a conversation with the old head because it's been a minute. I've been dodging him, not gonna lie. So I said, hey man, how's it going? He was like, hey, how you doing, young buck? Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, first of all, never mind. I'm not even gonna do it. Just do what you do, man. It's cool. But I was like, so what have you been up to and what have you been studying lately? Because I know you study a lot, you read a lot. He's like, well, I like to look at historical things generally. I was like, right. He said, but lately, I've been exploring human nature. And I said, okay. Now, when you say nature, exactly what do you mean when you say that? Because there's a lot of things that people call human nature, but it's not really that. It's something that person chose to do. It's not a natural expression of humanity. He was like, right. So he said, so let me ask you a question. Every time he says that to me, my ears perk up. Because I'm like, motherfucker, here you go. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, do you feel like what you're living is reality? Or is it possible that somehow throughout the course of however many years you've been existing on this planet, you've been drawn into someone's simulation and it's no longer your own? And I was like, holy shit. Hey man, look, I'm too high for this shit right now. Hold on. I'll bring you an answer tomorrow. So I came home to think about it. And I was like, well, shit. It's a whole lot of times when I feel like something's happening that I ain't got no control over, but it's happening to me. You know what I'm saying? And I can't exactly explain how I got to this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, you might have a fucking point here. But I wanted to bring it to my distinguished brothers because I figured, A, it was a wild ass question to ask somebody at work. And B, we've had enough conversations for me to know that, hey, y'all get down what you get down. So I want to ask, same question. I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So there have been studies done actually that like down to like the atomic material, like it simulates code. Now maybe that means something, maybe that doesn't. But the bottom line is we're all in something. And whether or not people want to argue whether or not it's like, okay, like it's God, it's, just a random event of the universe in control. It's a simulation. What's the difference? Like, so the universe is in control. What's the difference between the quote unquote universe controlling things and then God controlling things? And then if there is a code out there that is running things, it could be some crazy motherfucker in front of the atomic keyboard. That's your God. So what's the difference?
I like that. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, no matter what the explanation is, even if it truly is just random creation of the universe, it's still a simulation. It's just a matter of what that simulation looks like. And that's the thing. People try and understand things that they weren't meant to understand. And, like it's like the church people like saying like, oh, you're not meant to understand God's plan. Okay, well then why are you talking for him?
$1 million question.
So it's real cool to spout all these things about like religion and all that stuff, but then like there's no way that we could possibly understand God. All right, then why are you still talking?
Somebody at my door. If y'all hear gunshots, don't trip.
Get it. So yeah, no matter what it is, it's all the same and it's all something. But I ain't gonna sit here and try and figure out what it is. But that's why the God needs monsters.
It's kind of like Shakespeare, right? All the world is a stage and we're just players on it. And I agree with you, man. Like it doesn't make it. It doesn't matter. Whether it's God is simulation. God is the simulation. We're a simulation within God's brain. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. We're here. And the real thing, I think, people when they try to understand, is it God or is it the universe or is it code? Is it this or that? They're just trying to obfuscate from the real question of why am I here? What's the real purpose of me being here? And it's actually quite simple. What you're doing right now is why you're here. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. If this is a simulation, then you're a character that was created and you're running. From the perspective of that character, it's life, right? If you
True.
wrote a story, you're God of that story, right? And those characters are living their lives, right? Does it make it any less valid? I've seen people cry over books. You know what I mean? Characters that are supposedly fictitious, right?
True.
So if you're fictitious, because I think that's the big fear is that everybody thinks that if it's a simulation, that I'm not real, right? But you are, regardless, because you're there. You know,
Yeah.
Descartes, I think, therefore I am, right? So don't trip, just live, do your stuff, right? Stop worrying about all the bigger questions and just do the purpose, because I guarantee it's going to be one hell of a ride if you pay attention to it. But if you're constantly
Yeah.
worrying about whether God exists or whether it's code, it's going to waste your time.
I think a lot of people use it as a crutch too, because if there is some higher power, like, higher than us, that's in control of everything, then it's like, oh, now all my problems are because of them. So like, I don't need to do shit to like try and change it. I don't need to make myself better. This is the way the Matrix programmed me, man. So like, they wanted me to smoke that crack. Hey.
Being that you said that, the thing that always tripped me out was people who would quickly blame the devil or evil spirits for things that go wrong in their life, but then would not thank God for things that go right in their life. Now, I'm not saying you have to, because I'm not no super religious person at all. So, but it goes back to the same thing you were just speaking on. Like, as far as that like, in all actuality, the question that he was asking me was more so based in, do you feel like you control your life, or is there something else that's doing so? You know what I'm saying? It brings you back to fate and design, the destiny, and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I understand the of the argument of whether you're fated or destined to do a thing, but I think it's more complicated than that. Like it's like, again, I'm a writer, so when I write a character story, like as soon as I give the character its framework and I start setting it out on a scenario, you've been with me when we start riffing and stuff like that. There's certain things that just cause and effect, right? Because my logical brain has to go and make things make sense and make sense to other people. There's only so many ways this character can go. There's only so many things he can do because I limited him by his character, by who he is, by the circumstances that I put him in. So there's a little bit of fate because there's that cause and effect, but he can control the destiny because I try to write certain scenes and scenarios for those characters, and it just doesn't work. He would never do that. He would never, slap his mama and tell her X, Y, and Z. That's just out of character for him. So I can't go that
Make
way.
it enough.
So now but I do know where this character is going to end, right? Because I wrote it. I know how the story ends. So he's destined to be there. But along the way, as I'm writing it, his fate is kind of up to him. In a way, we kind of have a co-collaboration, right? And that's kind of like what these new agers talk about, you co-collaborate with the universe and that kind of stuff. But I think really what it
Is it a
is like
collaboration though?
people. I
Is it a
mean, you have to
collaboration though?
participate. You're
But you
participating.
know why I'm asking that, right? If you writing it, this is a character you created. You created the parameters of that character. And also, you just said, I can't write this scene because he would never do that. Is that not kind of taking some degree of the collaboration? Okay.
Because like he's kind of like, once the character is there, right, and it's solid, the character kind of dictates to me where they're gonna go once I present the scenario. And like I said, he wouldn't do that, or he
I feel
would
that.
do that. And so now I have to make it make sense for him to do that, right? Because this is what his character will do. The driving essence or spirit of that person, right? Of that character. And see, that's kind of crazy, right? I'm like having to anthropomorphize a person, a fictional person, and try to give them reality based, I don't know. I'm moving around with my hands a lot. Help me out, Monster. You feel me, right?
Seb, so I need 2 minutes. Like I'll get to to the collaboration, but you opened up the floodgate, so here we go. It's time to talk about the grand hypocrisy.
Let's do it.
People say the devil made me do it. If you actually read your Bible and you believe in God and the devil, all the devil ever wanted to do was to take God's influence away and give man free will. He just wanted them to do what they were going to do, what their brain comes up with without the grand deception of God to steer it. God never made anybody do anything evil. Even when he gave them the apple, they took the bite because he was like, yo, you should do that. And God cast them out for it. So saying the devil made me do it, nah, the devil just said, do what you're going to do.
Temptation. Really what it is he tempts, right? And so if he tempts you to do something, you have a choice to sit there and either take the temptation or not take the temptation. So no, he doesn't make you do anything, but he definitely presents you with the temptation. And that's also to his point, right? Because he wants you to steer you away from God and all that kind of stuff, whatever. My mom's probably watching this, so I gotta sit there and definitely stick up for the man upstairs. But but really what it comes down to is I don't think people actually know what God they're worshiping. Because God is such a blanket term. Which one? If you go to India, they got names. I know exactly which one. If you go to to Egypt, there's names. Like there's so many different gods. So if we're talking about the universe, all of it, the all, or are we talking about the one that rules this planet? The God that subjugates and kills and is kind of a death cult. Because that God, yeah, that's the one that would cast somebody out for gaining enlightenment. But the all, that's the simulation that we're talking about, right?
So people want to talk about war and genocide and all these things in the name of God. Why didn't God stop it? If that wasn't part of God's plan and that wasn't supposed to be him, was that the devil? It's being done in God's name though. I know somebody goes out and says like, yo, monster made me do it. I'd be like, I don't know that bitch.
Never heard of you.
Yeah. Or I'd be like, yo, and he did it good. It just depends on scenario. But if I didn't tell somebody to do something and they went and did it and they put that dime on me, then it's like, nah. So there's a lot going on in God's name. And if it ain't what's supposed to be happening, then you figure it would stop. Unless it's all just free will. And then is maybe the devil's winning. But see, I'm a man of balance. So as far as I'm concerned, just as long as they're playing nice together, just don't overstep. But one of them has a tendency to do it.
One of my favorite TV shows is Lucifer. Love that show. The reason why I love that show is very simple. It's precisely because of what you said at the very beginning. And he makes it very clear, hey, I'm not going to make you do anything. But what I want to know is, what is it that you really desire? That's the question he always asks me. Looks them dead in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? What do you really desire? What's your deepest desire? And they tell him. And he's like, why not do it? I mean, I'm just saying. There you go.
So now check it. That's their deepest desires, right? Like the stuff that he ends up making them do. But weren't they made in God's image?
So why is their deepest desire so contrary to their essence or supposed essence? Right.
See, I think we're under the misconception again of what God is, right? God is all good. God is everything. Yeah. Like the devil is just a part of him, or the devil. The idea of Satan, right? The one that accuses you and that constantly tempts you and that kind of stuff. That type, because I don't think you know what I mean. I think anybody could be a Satan, and so that's what makes it so prevalent. You know what I mean? If you got a coworker that constantly gets on your nerves, he's Satan, right? If you got like whatever, but it's in here, right? The devil is really in your head, and you'll have multiple devils depending on what you entertain, what you don't deal with. You know what I mean? If you're like an addict, that's a devil on your back, isn't it? I mean, sevens. Someone's on that back. They walking like, you know what I mean? Devil's on their shoulders.
Gives deeper credence to the devils in the details.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the white baby Jesus cracker god.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. All right. So if we're gonna stick to just the evangelical, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Death cult. Straight up fucking death cult. I said they are goddamn it. They don't worship his life, they worship his death. Like, get out of here. Like,
bruh.
And I don't pay attention to people talking about demons and devils when they flog themselves with all of the.
I'm gonna tell you something good, and I always felt this way. I felt this way since I was a kid. When I was very, very, very young, and just for the record, but this is purely, and let me be clear, this is all out of fear that I went to church till I was 18. That's all out of fear, and I'm not me.
Fear
I don't
of
mean
your mama.
Fear of my mom and my grandma. Like, it ain't had nothing to do with fire and brimstone and none of that shit. It was they gonna fuck me up if I don't come. So I was there every Sunday, like clockwork, busting at the seams to get the fuck out of there. Because the one thing that I noticed when I was a shorty that did it for me, that made me be like, y'all tripping. The very first time I saw somebody speaking in tongues, I was like, yo, that's deep. Until after the service, when I saw that same person on some bullshit outside. And I was like, that was the beginning of the something ain't adding up here.
You wasn't speaking in tongues, you was smoking crack.
It was crackhead shit. I'm trying to tell you. You were speaking bigamese. So yeah, so I saw that. Then I started noticing the more that I'm outside. So I'm seeing people from the church that's all high and mighty on Sunday, and they out here fucking around in these streets, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh. Then to go there and realize I'm putting it together now. You saying it's okay if they do that because they believe this. So if they come in here and they ask for forgiveness, it's all good. That's bullshit. I'm out. That did it for me.
Right the church is rolling OnlyFans. Everyone's praying at the church of the damned.
Everyone.
See, this is the part that people forget. If they do read their Bible, right, they'll hear that one verse that says, Lord, Lord, didn't I do all this stuff for you? Wasn't I, doing your at church every Sunday? And he'd be like, man, I don't know you. Get the hell away from me. Get out of here. And they'll cast him out because he doesn't know them. They're just fronting. So they can do that church shit, like, the play. And that's the same thing for me, man. A lot of people are just playing. And I was trying to understand the real, because if you really read the Bible, there's some wild stuff in there. There's some stuff in there like that if he says I can do what he can do, and more so, all right, so you can teach me magic. You know what I mean? And it's in there. So let's go. Right? But no.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
That's what Jesus said.
They on that funk shit. Yeah. They on that funk shit.
So I kept getting put out of churches because of that kind of stuff, man. I'm like, yo, if you really about being like Christ, why aren't we healing motherfuckers? Why aren't we out here feeding motherfuckers? I'm gonna tell you how real it was.
My senior year in high school, my last year, I promise you we're gonna start the show in just a few. But last year in high school, they asked me, hey, why don't you draw the picture for the front of the youth choir graduate youth choir's final performance they were discollected? Because real quick, just on some pop my collar shit, that youth choir, we was gangster, bro. I'm trying to tell you something good. We was crazy. We was running other youth choirs out their own church. Slide. the truth here, get the fuck out of here, yo. You know what I'm saying? We was on it like that. Like, yeah, everybody like, oh, gospel, yeah, but we was on some gangster shit. We was like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas trash. Beat it. Anyway, so I drew the cover, and it was a young cat praying at a table. You know what I'm saying? But up in the corner of the picture was a half moon and a star. One person, Mr. Dunston, my man, Clarence Dunston. Salute to you, man. Hey, salute to you. Sean Alterique, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Rest in peace, Miss Barber. Anyway, he comes up to me after the service and says, hey, good job, man. Hey, I see you. I said, what? He said, I see you. I said, what you mean? He said, assalamu alaikum. Walks away. I said, oh, shit. I done been caught.
Infiltration.
He ain't true. But like, it was crazy. Like, so even then, like, cause you gotta think at that point I'm 18. Like I started like diving into the Islamic side of things when I was 15ish. 16 was when I just said, fuck it, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I was bugging because I'm thinking, don't nobody know what that is. Like, it's cool. I'm gonna just run with it. He was on his shit. He was on his shit all the way live. Oh man. See, I wanted.
Seth came in on that "Don't be a menace" shit. He was like, "I'm only trying to do to the white women what has been done to us for 400 years. Fuck them."
I'm innocent. Oh shit. I'm innocent. God, don't be careful. But I mean, you know, we was able to make that shit move. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody true. We made it do what it do. I definitely want to get into a deeper religious and all of that stuff conversation in a later episode. But man, it's so much to unpack there. Like, cause I ain't gonna get into it. We ain't worried about religion. We ain't worried about who you pray to or none of that. You can pray to whoever the fuck you want. It don't matter.
I'm flyer than everybody. Everybody on cloud 9, higher than everybody. We stepping out on the town. We sliding every party.
Salute, Edom Mad Assassin. What's up, my nigga? I just talked to him earlier too. I gotta tell y'all some shit. Anyway, welcome to the party, man. Pantha Politix Podcast. We are in the building. I am Seven Da Pantha, aka the Carolina Hurricane Ridiculous Slang, aka your baby mama's favorite rapper, aka Pod Strickland, if you're getting the point. Got the brothers in the building. We're gonna go ahead and get this shit moving. We're just gonna go around the cypher. P7, what's
good? What's up? Had to unmute. How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. Just you know, everything is everything. I mean, I know it's already like midweek, but shit, how was your weekend?
Ooh, honestly, well, weekend was good. It was nice and relaxed because we were going to be on the road all week, so I had to, chill out and that kind of stuff. But my Monday was weird. We went in. I have, I got little side hustles, things I do during the day, and I went to get coffee with my wife and everything. And there's a little coffee stand that we go to, and I think the barista just had one too many shots, man, because she was just sitting all over the walls, bro. She's like, "How are you doing today?" And then I was just like, "It's just too early. It's just 6 a.m, please." And she's just going, and now my wife is the one ordering the coffee, so she's sitting in the passenger seat. I'm driving, right? The barista is just bouncing and going off in my ear, and I'm just stuck here. And my wife is just co-signing and going along with this, like, it's cute. That's great. And just letting her just rage in my ear. And I'm just looking at her like, please stop. Please just tell her to just like talk to me so we can just like, get her to stop talking, period. Please
focus.
Just make my coffee and let's go. And like the messed up part was like I wasn't even getting any coffee. It was all her. You know what I'm saying? It's like she was getting the coffee and then subjecting me to all of this. I was playing with my phone. I was just like trying to get out of it. It was bad. So that was weird. And then that's jumped off us being on the road for like the whole all this week so far. So it's crazy.
On the road again.
Tell them the best part.
Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah. So she's going off. She's like, I've had this shift for 7 years straight, this same shift. Yeah, that's me. I'm just what is it, 7 day a week MF? And I'm like, and we both kind of just paused up and looked at each other. We were like, pause. Like, motherfucker. Like, and it's like, and she's like, and she said it again. She's just like, yeah. And he's like, that's me, MF. Monday through Friday, I'm here, all reliable. And we just looked at each other like, oh, Monday through Friday. Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh
that's
shit.
not what we thought at all. We thought you said, yeah, that's me. I'm a reliable motherfucker. I'm always here. Like I just added words to be able to make that fit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy. Yo, I
this is
can
how
see
good
that
my
though.
wife is.
I can see it.
My wife was right there with me though, because she was looking me right in the eye, like, like
And
she
Monday
actually
through
said it.
Friday
She said
never
it out
even
loud.
crossed my mind.
Not at all.
Never even crossed my mind.
And then she turns around like, I'm gonna get your coffee, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That shit's crazy, yo.
Nah, she was wild. She was wild. But she's a cool girl.
That's wild. Yo, you got to take me to this coffee place. That's craziness. Oh shit. Monster, listen, what's good, brother?
Not a goddamn thing.
I do it. I'm probably gonna regret this. How was your weekend?
All right, so it started off good. I got to fight a little bit, so I'm like, dope, right? So, we get done training and everything, and then Sunday, got my knives in, got a couple new blades. And I was like, woo, I love it. And then, like, you ever set somebody up for failure but not know it? But then the ramifications just fall how they fall.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
So I set my lady up bad, like failure style. And yeah, so like there's a big old like jug of vitamin C on our counter, right? And I'm constantly like going over it and like separating things out. And I got busy. So the problem is the vitamin C jug look exactly like my dog pill jug. And they ended up smack dab right next to each other. So I hit the road, like I had moves to make. And I get back and I'm like, hi, baby.
Oh,
how are you? And I lean in and try and kiss her. She's like, no. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in trouble. And I was kind of right. But she was just like, I still can't get this off my breath. And like the way she describes the scenario, she popped that. But the thing is, like both of them is chewables.
Oh.
So she's chomp, right? And 5 seconds in realizes that this don't taste like oranges.
Oh shit.
So you remember in Ace Ventura when he finds out that Captain Einhorn is a man? And he jump in the shower, start scrubbing his tongue and shit. So she's telling me about this. She was like, I brushed my teeth. I flossed my teeth. I brushed my teeth. I water picked my teeth. I brushed my teeth. I scrubbed my tongue. I brushed my teeth. and I was like, all right, baby, well, I love you. I gotta go again, though,
Oh, damn. Oh,
so I felt bad because I said that. Yeah, I set it up bad, and she paid the price. So if you want to talk about God's plan, I don't know what that plan is, but it involves a whole lot of mouthwash.
God's got a sense of humor.
A whole lot of it. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh my God, that's funny.
God gets bored.
Yeah, you know, it got to be boring knowing everything. Like, I'm like, yo, I asked somebody one time though. I said, yo, and I promise we're not about to get back into this, but I did ask somebody one time. Don't you think if God know everything that he get kind of bored with this whole shit? Like, there's no surprise in it for him. Like, for us, it's like, oh shit. For him, it's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So I'm like,
it was a surprise the first time.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I think that
y'all see the Final Destination movies.
Yeah, where, for sure. That's my shit.
Like, some random occurrence will happen. Like, all of a sudden, the little water spout will just turn on. And then all of a sudden, it's like 9 different things will happen to just set up tragedy. Like, it could be that I separated them pills, but somewhere down the line, God was just like, nah, scoot over just a little bit right there. I'm bored.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah,
and that motherfucker was laughing his ass off the whole time.
He said,
no, I mean, I know we're not trying to get back there, right? I know we're trying to go back to this whole thing. But let's just think about this, though. If God decided he wanted to change something and rearrange time or whatever, would you even know? Right? You would know. This would be the first time for you. Always. Right? That's why it's new for us. But for him, he could have done this scenario 9,000 times. We could be doing this podcast with clown suits on. I hate clowns. That would be hilarious for him. Like, I'd be traumatized and be like, ha ha ha, the whole time. Nah, that's bad. And he just swipes it crazy. Now I'm in this house.
You just that see? See? I have reason to believe that you're absolutely correct. So yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I think that, you know what? I think that there's proof positive for me that there is some comedic bone that exists inside of whatever the authority figure is supposed to be. I think it's really fun. Because if that wasn't the case, then shit like, wait a minute, let me not do that. I was about to do something crazy. I'm not gonna do that. Yes, the fuck I am. Man, y'all know what time it is. Shit like this wouldn't happen. Well, wait a motherfucker.
God was like, nope.
To America. He pulled up and never pulled out again. Are you sure this is India, Captain? Shut up, Diego, and the boat COT. Passport girls, my boy has Amazon Prime.
See what I mean?
Only try 10 out of 10 would colonize. He came, he saw, he came.
I'm so confused.
What's the smoke signal? What's her only fight? Taking colonizer. I would make Genghis Khan proud. King Arthur himself wouldn't be able to pull me out. We ain't going.
Oh my God.
Columbus lost gallons. Columbus. Shut it.
Yo, what the? If there wasn't a sense of humor in this thing that y'all, whatever y'all call it, shit like that wouldn't happen. Shit like that wouldn't happen. I promise it would. It would never.
They said 10 out of 10 would colonize.
10 out of 10 would colonize. Yes, no questions asked. We know what Chris's game is. He ain't got no game. He just run up and colonize shit. That's how he get the bitches.
He's the Debo of explorers.
You know what I'm saying? Punk ass nigga. Somebody should have slapped the shit out of him. You know what though? The shit that make me laugh the hardest out of everything the shit that made me laugh the hardest is when I see something that could easily, you know what I'm saying, be some serious shit, but then some element within it refuses to allow me to take it serious. And so I start laughing at something that ain't really funny, but it kind of is. I can give you an example. Check it out.
With herpes after an appointment.
All right, first off, that lady was lying. She didn't get herpes from my shop, all right? I've slept with every nail technician in my shop, and I don't have herpes. That lady is lying, okay? Now, if she would have said she had syphilis, okay, we got an argument. I'm itching right now, but I do not have herpes. You lying, lady, and you ain't getting no money. Like I said, I slept with all of them. Slept with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Susan, Johnny, too. That's right, I don't discriminate. I get down with all my technicians, because I'm an equal opportunist. And I love everybody, but no herpes. No herpes. Back to you, Barbara. No herpes.
New Edition is doing nails? Is that where they've been?
Bro, what the fuck? That is crazy. That is crazy. Bro, and I tell you, they
also was real.
I wish that would. Oh my god!
The video might not be real, but that's on every block.
Every block. You heard me? You heard me? You can count me out. You see what I did there? Oh shit, that's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, sometimes going through the Pantha Politix group chat, is like the highlight of my day because y'all be putting some crazy shit in there. Oh man, before I get too carried away, I don't want to do sad shit yet. Hold on. We ain't gonna do that. Not right now. I'm not in the mood for sad shit, but I did find something interesting. P, I think you put this in the chat, and when I seen it, I was like, "That's wild." Now, fat folks, we're gonna be talking shit in the background. This video is it's like 45 seconds or some shit like that. So, but just pay close attention to what they're saying, because I was absolutely flabbergasted to the point that I couldn't stop laughing, and I wasn't even high. So, like, well.
Sleep in a completely different way than we do now. But why did it change? For thousands of years, people all over the world slept in 2 shifts. Back then, they go to sleep when the sun went down, around 9 p.m. They'd sleep for about 3 hours, then naturally wake up around midnight. And during this time, they'd do all sorts of things, feeding animals, reading, praying, sewing, or just lying in bed and chatting. After about an hour or so, they'd fall asleep again until dawn. This 2-part sleep was completely normal since ancient times. But everything began to change with the Industrial Revolution. Artificial lights like lamps became common, and that changed everything. Nights weren't dark anymore, so people stayed up later, but they still had to wake up early for work. At the same time, society became obsessed with productivity. Unbroken sleep and early rising became the correct way to live. Waking up in the middle of the night, that was suddenly seen as lazy or self-indulgent. By the end of the 20th century, the idea of 2 sleeps had almost completely disappeared.
Yo. Let me tell y'all something. You 2-shift sleeping ass motherfuckers. You lazy bums. How you got time to sleep twice? Shit. I barely had time to sleep once. That shit is wild.
So this is obviously a European thing because, like, they didn't have Jamaican parents. Like, there's no way. There's no way. You sleep twice. You barely getting sleep once. Like, come on. You got shit to do.
I mean, it's definitely a European thing, and I think they brought it with them. Because, I mean, it's not like they had to work.
Every painting in that film was of some crooked-ass white person sleeping in a really uncomfortable position. So it's like, no wonder your punk ass is waking up. Get some orthopedic, bitch.
Sleep like that. Silly orthopedic, you need it. Oh shit, that's wild. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, damn. Like,
it is wild though when you go to other countries and they have like siestas and things like that. I mean, we've all traveled and kind of been around. I know when I've gone to like, Spain, Italy, and that kind of stuff, they stop working like around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon and then take it off to go spend time with their kids and that kind of stuff and have a late dinner, and then they go back to work from like 5:30 to 7. It's weird, but they just do things different. You know what I mean?
how do you survive working like that?
I don't know. I mean, it's a different lifestyle, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
I'm
wild.
not there. I'm not there.
The
So
fact that we can't even fathom how you can survive working like that says a whole lot about where we're from.
because I don't want to come back to work. You know what I'm saying? When I'm done, I'm done. I'm not trying to come back after spending time with my kids. Like that's the highlight of my day. I'm done. Like I'm not trying to go back.
Yeah.
Gonna deal with Jan again. Come on, man.
Not Jan. Tell Jan to get her bitch ass out of here. Oh shit. Tell Jan to get her bitch ass out of here. Oh man. I mean, you've been, as much as Canada is like America in some ways, even there it was a different vibe as far as the urgency and the urgency. You know what I'm saying? Here the grind is something that people hang their hat on. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, but it's true. I mean, hell, we all victims of it ourselves. So, but realistically speaking, if you ever want to win to the degree that you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying, put your hand out to somebody else to give you the key to open the door. In America, that's what it takes. Either you gotta grind or you gotta be a real dirty motherfucker. If you have $1 billion in America, somebody dead somewhere because of you. It's somebody dead somewhere because of you, and it's a whole bunch of other people fucked up in the game because of you, because that's the only way you acquire that kind of wealth here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyway, I got way too serious right there, but I apologize.
Go back to them crackers sleeping.
Put some more sleeping white people on the screen. What's wrong with this nigga? Oh man. Nah,
tired ass crackers.
That shit is crazy, bro. I'm telling you. But you know what though? Before, there's a couple more crazy things. But being that we giving white people hell, I want to make sure that we also give the proper props. Now there's a continuation to the previous salute that we passed out. Monster threw it in the chat, and I thought it was only right that we share with y'all how this, transpired as it progressed. This is crazy.
It tastes like, God damn! Before you say anything, get Granny on the phone. I'm calling a family meeting right now. Granny! Yeah.
Yes.
I just had to let everybody know that I've officially been seasoned. I need to spread the season, so I'm gonna need you to get in the car. I'm gonna need you to go to the local Walmart and write this down, because I know you're gonna forget it. Lowry's garlic butter. You know what I'm saying? Slap your mama. No. Not literally slap you, mama. I'm saying it's a seasoning called slap your mama.
Oh, shit. Yo.
He wasn't having it. He was like, I am never eating your dry, fucking salted ass food again. Y'all gonna have to handle that if I'm coming back.
Oh, shit. He said, I stay at the cookout for the rest of the summer. I am not fucking with y'all.
Hey, if you know better, do better, right? He passed it on. He didn't keep it to himself, right? He could have been like a wizard among them.
You know what I mean?
Learn how to cook real quick. Be like, I brought you something. Change your life.
Try that. He come back home after they finish eating, they playing Mob Deep and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Oh, I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. That dude is funny as shit. He said, this is what seasoning tastes like? God damn. Oh, shit. Oh, that shit was hilarious, bro. I love that shit.
I tell you, a piece of chicken will change your life, monster.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Seasoning is seasoning. You can season anything and make it taste better. That's what I'm saying. It's just the crackers don't use it.
Oh, yo, you know the spot closed, yo.
Damn.
Yeah, the spot shut down. Man, salute to Harvey Butchers, man. That shit was fire.
Man, he'll be back.
That shit was fire. Yeah, no doubt. Damn, yo, that shit fucked my head up when I seen that. Because I was looking it up because I was like, yo, I'm almost tempted to go to Minnesota. Just to go there. Like that shit is crazy. But yeah, that shit was fire. But I think it was dope though for me to have that and to realize that like a lot of the shit that you and a couple other people that I know that are vegan or vegetarian or anything of that nature, where they do something alternative, and it was like, yo, it's really about just about how you season it. Like if you go, there's certain things that you know what I'm saying. And I was like, yeah, I hear you. Like it sounds good. And I've had some shit that was cool, you know what I'm saying. But then like a lot of times when I run into vegan food, it'd be some wild shit that I just look at and be like, but what is it though? Like, but what is it though? Like I just don't know. So yeah, I'm very skittish about that type of shit. Rightfully so.
Don't like vegetables.
I like vegetables.
That's
I do
scary.
like okay. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something right now. And I don't usually say this out loud, but I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. So it would make the most sense in the world for me to only eat out of the plates that you see at the cookout that's got the big section for this and then a little section for everything else, because I eat everything like that. I don't mix my shit together. Like the only time I mix food together is when I put French fries on my burger. That's it. Otherwise, I don't want my food to touch each other. I don't want it like at all. Like leave it alone. Like this shit is this shit. I like all of these things. I just don't want it all at the same time. And I'll eat one thing completely, then move to the next thing completely, and then to the next thing completely. Like that's, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know when that started. I can't remember, but yeah, it's weird.
It's childhood. It happened in childhood. It's always childhood. Because if you can't remember, it happened in childhood.
I'm traumatized, son. I'm traumatized. Shit.
I don't think it has to be trauma. I mean, it could be just like, we all went to public school and we had those trays, right? And then each one of the meals are all sectioned out. So if for like me, I had 3 meals there, right? So if I got used to eating like that, it is what it is. Now, we also been incarcerated. It's the same thing.
I wasn't trying to go there. But
well, yeah. Well, the military, incarceration, school, it's all the same thing.
Same shit, yeah. That's it. School just jail. You get to go home from every day. And on the weekend, but you always got to go back. That's fucked up.
Fucking day camp lockup.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Hell yeah, that shit is crazy, man. Speaking of fucking lockup, I don't even know if I can describe this really. I just know that when I heard it, I was like, damn, that's crazy. I think we should play that for people. So I'm not even gonna try to describe this. I'm just gonna play it, and then we can talk about it after. But yeah, I was like, yo, we have to do this. We don't have a choice. We got to do it.
Where you can't believe it's real life. This woman goes out of her house. She sees a mannequin, picks up the mannequin, and brings it upstairs. She's like, all right, cool. It's kind of dirty. And she starts washing it off. 911 call comes out. Dispatch puts it out. This woman found a mannequin, but she's not sure if it's a mannequin. So the PO goes there, and the PO's like, what do you mean it's not a mannequin? Oh my God, that's a dead woman. So homicide rolls up. The homicide guy's looking there. They're like, why are her pants unbuttoned? She's like, well, I thought that she was a mannequin, so I brought her upstairs. They're like the 120-pound dead heroin addict. She's like, yeah, but I wasn't sure if she was a mannequin or not. So I did the test. And then that's when I called 911. And the homicide guy goes, oh, yes, of course, yes, the test. What is the test? And she goes, oh, I flicked her to make sure that she was real. And they keep going through the questioning. And finally they go, why did you bring a woman who you thought was a mannequin into your home? She goes, oh, I collect mannequins. The detectives look around. They go, hun, there's no mannequins in this house. And she goes, well, she was going to be the first one.
She was gonna be the first one.
Yeah. She said, I did the test. like that was, the level. Like there was only one thing to do, and that was I'm a flicker low.
Bruh. What the fuck? I don't even know what. Please, if you got something, please say it. I don't know what to say about that. That's right. I don't know.
What neighborhood you living in where you could take a 25-pound or 125-pound heroin addict up some stairs and no one notice? Like, obviously, this woman's not living in Beverly Hills, deciding to truck up a. Well, I mean, because they do have heroin addicts in Beverly Hills. But,
You know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the cops would have been called. There wouldn't have been no flick test. The cops would have already been there if it was Beverly Hills. So, what neighborhood do you live in? Hollywood? East Hollywood? Detroit? What's up? Where were you at?
I mean,
Where was this? Where was this at? Where was this at? I'm curious. If it's Texas,
it
we
might
got
have
some
been
issues.
Might have been
So you ain't lying. So like it just begs so many questions. It's like how far through rigor mortis did this woman go through? Because like you figure you pick up a mannequin, and one probably ain't gonna be 125 pounds, but also it's gonna be rigid like a motherfucker. Like this woman had no flop to her, apparently, and like you open the jeans and you're like, man, they made this mannequin detailed.
the devil's in the details.
Let me go ahead and flick this porcelain real quick. Oh no, had a little gas come out. We talking bodies.
But then you did the test. She failed the test, and yet you were still chilling with her. Bro, I collect mannequins. Lady, there ain't no mannequins in here. She was gonna be the first one. Bro, there's some extreme detachment going on between this person and reality. I mean, God.
Yo, but let me flick that kitty one more time, though.
You know what I mean? Hey, oh man, just one more time. I know where you're taking me to. Ain't gonna be no kitty flicking going on in there. Oh no, it's gonna be a whole lot of it. That's the problem, right there. It's gonna be a whole lot of it. You better go ahead and get yourself prepared. One of my favorite shits in the world is when I see like a clip from a movie that I know, or a clip from any show that I know, and they change the whole shit. Like they mouse is moving, and you know what this scene is supposed to be saying, but they're saying something completely different. And I love that shit because a lot of times it'd be hilarious. Sometimes it's I mean, I guess hilarious still fits. It's just kind of odd sometimes, but tell me what you think.
Hey, fuck you. I'll see you at work. Oh, nigga, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got. You get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
Oh,
bro.
All right, like, I mean, it's funny, but it's lucky that it's AI or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I would like to take that and continue the AI from that point, and he walk around the corner and Tyrone and his people come. And then they mollywop his punk ass and stomp him out of the fucking hallway. Okay, so I can't even think of the fucking words I want to say right now, just because I know a part of me should not give two fucks about what an AI white boy is saying. I shouldn't care, but I should though, because if a motherfucker don't know it's AI and they see it, they like, oh, it's cool like that, and they're gonna go somewhere. They're gonna go to the hilltop.
Thing is, somebody had to program it.
That part. So they're gonna hear this AI do that bullshit. They're gonna take their ass to the hilltop and try to nigga. And they have a bad motherfucking day. So I mean, yeah, like that shit is crazy. I don't know. Like I will say this much, and it's I don't know. It does irk the fuck out of me. Let me not play about that. The Northwest got to be the place where I've lived at that I've seen the most black people with. It's like, nah, he get a pass. The bigger question you should ask yourself, cuz, is why he want one. Why you even gotta say it? I mean,
don't worry, I'm handling it.
Boss is on the job. Oh shit. Yo, there was a I was doing a show one time, and it was right here in Tacoma. And this group was on stage. I'm not gonna say their name because why? It's not important. The important thing is that after this night, actually, correction, this show was in Seattle. It was my first time performing there. El Corazon. So we in there, we doing our thing. I already performed. I'm just kind of kicking it, hanging out. I'm waiting for Fatal to go on, actually. It was his first time back there after a long time being banned from the venue. So we chilling, and this group gets on stage, and they rocking. First of all, they rapping over their vocals, so I don't really give a fuck about their performance anyway. But they get about 3 or 4 songs in, and the next song they do, the hook is, this is the hook to the song. I'm about to shoot me a fuck nigga. I'm about to shoot me a fuck nigga. That's the hook of the song. That's the part they want you to remember. I'm about to shoot me a fuck nigga. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that because that's a whole nother level of conversation. But I look up at the stage because in my brain, despite the fact that I haven't been paying attention, I know that one of the 2 people I've seen up there on the stage was a white boy. So now I want to see, are you singing this song? And if you are, I'm about to be a fuck nigga and see if you shoot me. How about that? So I look at the same time that I looked at the stage, Fatal looked at me. And he quickly maneuvered himself through the crowd and said, don't do it. Do not fucking do it. Not in here. If you catch him outside. I was like, say less, and walk right out the door. And I stayed out there and waited. And waited. And waited. The black guy in the group apparently heard that I was waiting. And came out to talk to me. Bro. Just let him breathe. I talked to him. We'll never do it again. I was like, I started thinking, this is my first time performing here. This is, bro, first time back, being allowed back here. If I start some shit, he coming to get in it. Fuck it. All right, man. But y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. They left. But I'm telling you, that's probably the closest I've come in a venue that I was performing in to doing ungodly bodily harm to somebody in a very long time. So, yeah.
See, that's when I'm back there being like, all right, you got to let him breathe. But I don't.
I wish you was fucking. Like, bro, you don't know how many times I said I wish you was there that night. Oh, God. Woo. That was the hook to the song, yo. I'm about. Anyway, don't get me started.
If you're gonna be a racist, don't be a racist bad rapper.
You know, at least we dope. Maybe I want to battle your racist ass before I beat you up. But when you doing shit like that, a battle is pointless.
Tune them up real quick and be like, "Here, now get in the cipher."
Yeah, and I'm gonna beat your ass again when it's over. I left your teeth in so you don't be spitting all over everybody while you rapping it.
Body blows.
Make it hard for you to breathe when your fucking kidneys and shit start shutting down. Anyway, yeah, I'm smiling. I'm happy. That was then. I'm not there anymore. It's okay. I'm not there anymore. I survived it.
But I am.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh man. That is crazy. Oh shit. Okay, so
I'm gonna go like Toronto on Major League. Be like, bring that shit to me, man.
Oh man, speaking of Toronto, bro, there's this other podcast that they have this drop that they're playing right now, and it's you said Toronto, it made me laugh because it's Drake. So here's the thing, it's super duper funny to me because I've seen interviews with Drake when he was young, like the grassy years and when he first got into rapping. I saw a lot of interviews with him then, and he was very, I'm trying to get, I'm trying to prove a point to people and such, but and they said I couldn't do it, and they said I'm not, I don't have what it takes, blah, blah, blah. And he talked. That's how he sounded. But on this drop, he's like, it's some strange affected Jamaican accent / something. Like I don't understand why, being that your dad is from Memphis and your mom is a Jewish white lady. So, and you didn't sound like when I said, like, you was in your early 20s, late teens, early 20s when I seen this. And so, and they like, you just gained that accent in the last 15. What the fuck is going on? I don't understand this, dog. If there's one thing in the world of hip hop that confuses the fuck out of me more than anything, it's that man. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm so confused about how everything about him confuses me. And I'm like, but why? This is crazy. Why would you do that? Oh, it's so
frustrating. He's trying to reinvent himself. He got roasted by Kendrick, so now he's trying to reinvent himself. I'm actually from the islands. Yeah, I'm like you. No, you're not like us.
Yeah, he's an island boy, all right. He's an island boy, all right. I'll be good.
I'm not trying to trip the censors today. I'm not trying to, use it. We only got like 4 more for the month. You know that, right? Like we can't.
I know. I know. That's why I'm like, I gotta be cool.
I gotta be real cool.
I gotta save some. I gotta save some for 200 anyway. But yo, you know what? I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm trying to have a pause-free episode for 200 for myself anyway. I ain't saying because the guests are gonna fuck up and they never see it coming. But yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm gonna try my best. It's gonna be very difficult. I already know. Because as soon as we realized we was pause-free for a minute, we started going absolutely berserk. Absolutely fucking berserk. Oh man. But yeah, so we about to get into some music shit. While I'm talking music, Book of the Monster Volume 1 out right now. Gravitas out right now. Sun in the Morning by Mojo Bars is on the way. Few and Far Between, Soul Interrogator is on the way. Actually, I noticed Mojo Barnes is not here. Mojo Barnes has decided to move on to he got some things he want to pursue. We still doing Sound Chamber Gang shit, of course. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna be doing High Notes, so make sure you check that out. We would definitely be tuned in, and who knows, there might be a Panther sighting over there. You know how we do. But yeah. We make it do what it do, man. Salute to Mojo Barnes, everything he doing. Make sure y'all check out Sun in the Morning when it drops. If you ain't got Book of the Monster Volume 1 already, why not? And if you ain't heard Gravitas, you must be living under a fucking rock. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. That's all I'm saying. We actually had an opportunity to talk music a little bit while we was on the road, though. And we started listening to, collectively listening to Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs, and Alchemist. I want to get y'all thoughts on it, but I just want to say before we even dive into that, I gotta say salute the Alchemist, man. There was a lot of talk at a point. With the guy conductor Williams was saying he wanted, saying he felt like he was. Listen, stay conductor wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, keep doing that. Leave Al alone. You won't want to play with him. Alan is a very different gentleman. So salute the Alchemist, man. You are very, very quietly creeping up my favorite producers of all time list. You're doing what you're doing, man. Anyway, Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. Yeah. Thoughts?
All right. So I'll start by saying, like, Freddie Gibbs isn't like, he's not my favorite hip hop artist. So when I go into listening to a Gibbs album, like, I know what to expect, because there are some things that I just know him to do very well. His cadence changes, the way that he flows on a beat is usually incredible. I'm not too fond usually of his lyrics. Like, I wouldn't put him as like a highly, lyrical artist. And with that, that's why I'm not particularly drawn to him. I have nothing against him by any means, because he's very, very talented in many other avenues. It's just not who I'm drawn to. But I can say that this album, even though it's not the most lyrical, you could tell that him and Alchemist really got together and like created something together. It wasn't just like, okay, here's a bunch of beats and okay, now I'm going to go do my thing. Because it really is, like, at least it appears to be a very high grade of give and take. The beats are flowing to the lyrics just as much as the lyrics are flowing to the beats. And it was just, it was done at a masterful level. I will say that. The beats were dope. His cadence was dope. Like, just the way that he can, turn the most, what some would consider just innocuous bar into a punch just by how he delivers it, and, starts to speed up his cadence and then really gives that punch and then pulls back and, goes right back into some, a new flow. The way that he does that is insane. And it takes a producer like Alchemist to be able to finalize that true relationship of somebody that can do that on a beat, but then have the beat respond to it as well. So, yeah, like, there were a lot of things that, I just wasn't drawn to, but those aspects of the entire album were insane, to the point where, like, I was calling it out as I was listening to it. Like, yo, like, did y'all hear this? How the guitar came in right here, or, how the bell started dinging, like, just as he punched that. And like, it's like I said, a masterful display of that marriage. So for those two combined, I could not have asked for anything more. You're muted, Seth.
Da 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 da.
There you go.
What do you think?
Honestly, I agree with everything that Monster said. But I'm not familiar with Freddie Gibbs. This is actually one of the I think the third time I've actually heard anything really from him.
Right.
I think it's on a couple features or something like that that you had me listen to, and then this. And so this was again, I was kind of blown away with the his style. You know what I mean? Because everything we've been listening to has been kind of a throwback, and then kind of just off the wall. And this was like you said, kind of masterful. Like it worked with the music. I was actually happy with that somebody was rapping in cadence with the music like it was meant to. I like the beats were amazing and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to the lyrics, I wasn't I wasn't in. I'm not really into the whole like I'm a gangster, big dick, in that way. You know what I mean? Where everything's bitch, bitch. I'm not. That's not my thing. I like a nice little story. I mean, if it's like Scarface and that kind of stuff, and you're telling me my mind's got playing tricks on me, and you're going through a whole story, yeah, I'm down. 'Cause I'm a filmmaker. I like to see the visuals. But the metaphors that he was putting together, and just the way that he was flipping the words, he's a great wordsmith. He's a great wordsmith. So many different ways he just kind of layered the same words, same kind of like phrasing, and like brought it to the same point and brought different points to it, punching, like you said, to like re-emphasize, no, this is different now. This is different now. This is different now. And I'm using the same phrase, but it's different now. I was impressed. I was really impressed with that. Um, yeah, yeah. I recommend it because it may not be for me, but I can see how a lot of people could bow their heads to this, and really kind of get into it. Like there's like 3 or 4 tracks that I was just like, I can listen to this, just have it, part of a playlist that kind of sets a mood. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I recommend it.
Oh yeah. Um. Hmm. I'm conflicted a little. Here's why. I'm a huge fan of Alchemist since way back. I've always thought Alchemist was dope. And hearing his evolution over time has been like really like it's been stupendous to see that in hip hop from a producer. A lot of times you'll hear somebody's best work early, and then it kind of they kind of lose their way at some point. As I said previously, he is slowly creeping up my favorite producers of all time list, and he's probably within a shallow jumps range of the top 5. I fuck with him that heavy. Alfredo too. I love Alchemist. I like Freddie Gibbs. I think there are people who do what he does more to my personal liking. Like I think maybe I'm not gonna say names, it doesn't matter. But I do think that there are people who do it better. However, he's really good at what he does. So I would never take that from him. I think that they much like y'all said, I think they found a masterful way to give a secondary injection to this whole process. As much as I heard Alchemist with people who rap differently, it don't seem out of place in what Freddie Gibbs. It seems like it's supposed to be that way. Like if somebody told me, "Oh, well, Alchemist that he does," I wouldn't even sneeze at the thought. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like it's supposed to be that way. The subject matter for me doesn't. It's not expansive enough. You know what I'm saying? Even within being a gangster, it's not expansive enough. I think I think the same thing could potentially happen to Freddie Gibbs. Well, could have potentially. He's just a better rapper, but it could have potentially the same thing could have happened to him that happened to 50 Cent. Because you talk gangster shit, but the problem for 50 was the gangster shit he talked that got him on. He kept talking that. I mean, of course, it got more money infused into it the more money he got, but it didn't evolve, because your gangster didn't have to evolve at that point, because now you're rich. You don't even have to be a gangster. You are who you are. That don't change. But the need for that, the exercise of those muscles ain't the same once you get to a certain point. Freddie Gibbs is well off. He ain't as well off as 50 Cent. And as stated previously, simply when it comes to executing technical rapping, he's better. So he's able to continue to keep going with it. That said, though, when you do a song with somebody like Jid, who I think is fighting for potentially being crowned the greatest MC of his generation, of his era, he's absolutely incredible. That kid is insane. J. Cole, I don't know what you're doing. This young man should be a household name right now. Get your shit together. It's when you hear the difference. Jid is a lyricist. No questions asked. That's when you hear the difference. You hear the separation between where Gibbs is and where Elite Pens reside. So yeah, I absolutely positively love the album. Don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is not to detract from the quality of the project. It's really, really good album. It is, you know, if we talking about hip hop albums, especially on a, and I know he's an independent, but just saying those who are seen in the mainstream, like Clips, also fall into that category despite them being independent, because they have previously been on major labels. When they talk about album of the year, that's who they talk about. Them people. We don't get into that conversation. So if we talk about album of the year on their plane, this album got a fighting chance to win it. I will say that. Thus far, anyway, it's only August. It's only August. We'll see.
I mean, if we're talking about a range, if we're talking about, you know, the top 5, I'd say absolutely. He held his own and he did a great album, especially with being so close to a few like truly great albums. In my opinion, I mean, you know, when we're talking about, you know, album of the year, it's subjective to, you know, your like. I would not put this above the Raekwon album. I would not put this above the Clips album. So, like, already it hasn't won album of the year to me, and it has no chance of doing that. But it definitely has the capability of being even in the top 3 if you just use those two and this, because it was good enough, and people are going to have to come in for a fight. So yeah, it's definitely got some capability to be on the list.
I mean, the weird part about that is I've had conversations and heard conversations with people who put that album above both of the albums you named, and I was like, that's interesting. Now, I personally don't know where I put it right now. I would say it's in that top 5 range.
Yeah,
as far as right now. Yeah, as far as right now. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to it, usually around November, late November, I'll take whatever albums I think are in consideration for my personal album of the year, and most of it's not going to be on that side. It's going to be more on our side. But since they are independents, I'll keep them in the tuck for honorable mentions. But I'll take the albums I think should be the album of the year, and I'll line them up. Okay, that one. If I grade this out, how do it grade out? If we talking about rapping, that there's not better rapping lyrically on the Freddie Gibbs album than on the Clips album or Raekwon's album. It's not. I start running into a wall when we start talking about production because I love Alchemist. So at that juncture, it's kind of like, I love what Pharrell did on the Clips album, but I don't like him better than I like Alchemist. And I like Alchemist beats better because they sound like beats I would pick. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear me run into those beats. Whereas I might hear some of them beats on the Clips album and be like, I mean, I'll take a swing at it. I'm not quite sure how I want to approach that, but I'll take a swing at it. So Yeah. And then overall, like sequencing is a thing that you have to kind of review in hindsight at this point, anyway. But yeah, salute to all three of them. Incredible work, man. Incredible releases from everybody. Yo, it's been a pretty good year for hip hop this year. I'm not going front, and I'm talking about all the way from the indies up. It's been a really good year for hip hop this year. Thank you, Nas, for your part in that. Salute to you, man. And I'm gonna always say that because a lot of people get in the position you in and forget about the culture. You ain't done that. Thank you. Much appreciated. Can't wait to hear what you and Primo cooking, man. Can't wait to hear it. New Ghostface album, August 22nd, I do believe. I can't wait to hear that. And you call it Supreme Clientele too. You better bring it, Tony. You better bring it. Oh man, the first thing was crazy. Anything else in music that anything else music? I don't think so. Oh,
Shark
but I do want.
remix.
You said who?
The Baby Shark remix. If you
Oh,
haven't caught the Baby Shark remix, man, you need to get that. You need to cop that.
oh shit. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Cause see, I don't even. I'm gonna admit something right now.
You like that song?
No, I don't like this. I hate that fucking song. I hate that fucking song. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just be honest. Kids, if you got small kids and they listen to this podcast, they stay around while you listen to this, please send them away for like the next 30 seconds. It might be longer than 30 seconds, never mind. But just hit the button. 15. It'll get fast. A lot of that shit y'all be on is annoying as a motherfucker. I just want y'all to know that. It's annoying as fuck. Baby Shark gets on my fucking nerves. That Miss Rachel bitch, I want to throw her off a bridge on everything. A lot of that kid shit, like, dog, I understand the repetition and all of that and all that, the memories. I get it. But damn it, man. I be like,
as fuck.
That shit is like getting bamboo shoots under your fucking fingernails. I swear to you. Like, this is, why does it have to be annoying? I don't get it. Is there not a cooler way to school your children that doesn't make you want to blow your brains out? Like,
I'm worried that they're gonna grow up annoying. I'm worried that we're programming them to be annoying. Like we already groomed them to be soft.
I call Rachel. Miss Rachel is the harbinger of Karen culture.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to figure like when the dirt finally comes out, and you find out that Miss Rachel's a hoe. like I'm just waiting. It's like finding out that Jared was a pedophile. We was at Subway today, and we was like, "How'd that happen?" And like, you just never know what type of something, like what people is on, and then you get people that do these kids shows, and all of a sudden it come out that like there was that one dude that was in like the suspenders and stuff, and it turned out that he was just trying to run game to make money, and like previously from doing that show he was on some Jackass stuff doing like crazy and nasty stuff, and then you got Pee Wee Herman. Everybody know what happened to him. And then, like, the dude from Blue's Clues, like, the first one, he turned into a G, but he was depressed as hell. But there were some of the other ones after him that they was on some grimy.
Shasta McNasty.
So you're trying to say that, what's her name, has an OnlyFans then? That Miss Rachel's got an OnlyFans?
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying it's not on purpose. Like, y'all remember the lamb chop sock? You think that just stayed a sock? You think that wasn't used for nothing else? Just saying.
See?
Oh my God.
Miss Rachel, the harbinger of Karen culture. Yeah, I could totally see that though. That's disgusting to even imagine. But yeah,
I was watching a video and like it was just I ain't gonna lie, it was just a clip, but she had that little shape box and the hook. She said it over and over again. You want to talk about hook, Seb? The hook to that was put it in. Yeah. Just saying.
I got it. Ah, damn it, man.
You're welcome.
Miss Rachel, you need fucking help, yo. What the fuck? Yo, I'm gonna tell you something good. It's definitely programming. No questions asked. And you know what? While I'm at it, fuck Barney. Fuck the Teletubbies. Oh, fuck you too, Sesame Street. Hey, let's not pretend like y'all don't have no hand in this.
Yo,
like, dog, Snuffleupagus gotta be one of the. Hey,
whoa. We don't go after PBS. That's my home. That's no. My family works for PBS or did up until Trump fucked them. Like we don't go after PBS. Mm-mm. Love you.
Snuffleupagus was a junkie. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Like,
Like,
how it is in these streets. Oscar's a freaking grouch, man. He's a bum that lives in a damn garbage can. He's upset all the goddamn time. They try to let you know what's out there in them.
He was like, "Hey, bird."
Hey, bird. Ugh. The red tops of Firebird.
Word. Because I recognize my junkies in my neighborhood by Sesame Street. Thank you, Sesame Street, for teaching me how to recognize the junkies, the homeless man, and whatever. And they're all just nice people. You just gotta be nice to them. You know what I mean? That's what I learned.
They show. And ladies, if y'all pay any attention to Sesame Street, if you meet a nigga that move like the Count, stay the fuck away from his ass. That motherfucker was like Pimp, Magic, Don, Juan, King Kong got this motherfucker.
Yo, I got a question.
Uh-oh.
All right. So we all know like what Big Bird's game was. We know what Snuffy's big game was. Right. Cookie Monster, Bert and Ernie, the Count, Oscar Grouch, all of them.
Uh-oh.
What was up with Grover, yo?
What
was it? What was it?
They did that whole like Grover's Big Adventure thing, right? Like where he finds out his past and whatnot, right? And we find out he's an alien. Yeah. Oh, he's just an alien. An illegal alien. He's an immigrant. The dude was from another country. That was all it was. It's like his family left him, sent him to
When you said he's an alien, nigga, I thought you meant he was from another fucking planet.
No, he's just an immigrant from like the Balkans and shit. Like,
God. I thought this motherfucker was from another planet. He's from across town and shit.
This motherfucker just put out breaking news that Grover got deported.
Oh shit!
God damn.
That is true.
That's why they shut down PBS, man, because they just started deporting motherfuckers.
Oh, Ice rolled up in there. Fuck Grover whole groove up, huh? I bet Dora ass was running for. Shut up, Seven. Don't say that shit. But oh, I'm crazy. But yeah, I feel it. Okay. But nah, yeah, I was not fooled by what I saw. I was not fooled by what I saw. I knew what time it was. I was like, hey, man, I think they pumping jumps over there at Sesame Street, man. Somebody's selling rocks over there, man. I don't know who.
We're trying to fool you, bro. They're just trying to let you know. They're just trying to let you know.
I don't know who, but somebody's selling drugs over there. Oh, that shit is crazy. Nah, I was, you know what, though? I was thinking about something the other day. I'm still gonna make a list of movies that Mojo needs to watch, and he has to watch them within the next 6 months. So I'm gonna DDT him on the concrete on live stream. So, I know we was talking about movies while we was on the road and shit, and one of the movies that we started discussing was Menace to Society, and it made me think. Well, it makes me think about a few things, actually. It makes me think about how many people see that movie, and I hate to put it this way, but see it completely wrong. Fell in love with all the wrong aspects of it. But I figured since y'all are both filmmakers, writers, all of that, that we could kind of maybe have some discourse in regards to the classic Menace to Society. And I only say classic like this because there are people who will debate whether or not it's a classic. I inarguably think it is, but I digress. I know there was some specific things that we was talking about in regards to the movie, so I'm gonna open the floor up right now. Let's just get into it.
I'm gonna let Percy go down the film side of things because, like, I watch the movie probably like once a year. As you're scrolling through, you see it, you're like, oh yeah, gotcha. And watching it this time, like, because I watched it again to brush up on it, just make sure, And as I was watching it, from the very first scene, when they walk in the convenience store, I was like, yo, what if Menace to Society was white? Appropriation of Hollywood. And I was like, this movie looks a lot different. That store manager, he's like, I feel sorry for your mother. And white boy turned around and he's like, oh no, she just started a new Pilates class. No, she's doing great. And the conversation. Walks out, doesn't even take his change. That first party that they go to, like the big house party, right? Now, Seth, I got a question for you after this. But I always known this, but just watching that party, I was like, yo, if they was white, they walk into that, and all it is wine tasting and cheese boards. Like, ain't no flyness going on. Sev, it doesn't say that you're muted, but we can't hear you.
Oh, that's because yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, man, that's wild. But before I get to my next point, Sev. Now the party wasn't the biggest party. Like that was a mid-level party, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, and like this goes into some of the Hollywood stuff, it's like they showed you every like what they would consider negative aspect of a house party.
All of them.
Yeah, like like even before you walk in the door, brothers out in the front yard fighting. They walk in, very first person you see is smoking up. Like they start walking, somebody hands them a brew, and like the camera pans up real quick to show the couple kissing, getting ready to get nasty up on the stairs, and then just cuts back. Like they were like, yo, did you see them up there getting that tongue in? And then they get through the kitchen, more drinks, they're getting to the back, gambling, right?
Right.
Even at a mid-level party, like the party is fake to me immediately because we walked through the whole party. Even at a mid-level party, when was the last time you went to a party that didn't have wine tasting and cheese boards, like our kind of party that didn't have a cipher?
Not one.
None of them. And
That's
I was
crazy.
like, see, this ain't real.
No.
But them white parties, they showed they ain't got no cipher. So the like the big like reveals of all the scenes. Like, okay, now he's starting to get in trouble. So he's in getting interrogated. Now that scene go real different. White. He's like, nah, it wasn't me. And if it was, I didn't know I can do that. And he walks outside the front door. And then they get pulled over by the cops. They get roughed up in the car. They get dropped in the wrong hood, right?
Mm.
Then white dudes get pulled over by the cops. How can I help you today, officer? Yo, this is a rough neighborhood. You're gonna need this gun. Take it. I'll just let them know at the station. But you're gonna want to get out of here quick. And they dip. No harm.
There we go.
The setup to the drive-by. Yo, we about to fight over a bitch. Yo, don't talk about my cousin that way. If they was white, yo, you got my cousin pregnant. Well, let's look at this logically. I haven't seen a paternity test. And your cousin's quite the promiscuous lady there. And he's like, hey, watch it, bucko. But you're right. Maybe we need to do a little bit more research. Drive-by don't even happen. Movie's over. Most anticlimactic shit in the world. To them, it was just Tuesday.
Oh shit. That's really real.
Classic movie. But please, Hollywood, some movies, they just need to stay black.
Yeah. Put some of this in it. No, we're not gonna do that.
The one white dude in the film, the dude that goes to the crib and is trying to get that car, and he's like, "Yo, why you coming here so fucking early?" Well, you said 1 o'clock.
I know what I said, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know what I said, motherfucker. But I don't wake up until 2:30. And he was like, okay. Oh. And then he was like, come back tomorrow night at 10. You want me to come back at night? That was the white representation in the film. And man, was that accurate.
You want me to come back at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker. You want me to give you a stolen car in the daytime? In this neighborhood? The fuck out of here. I feel you. Yeah, there was some very strange things that I saw. We'll get there. Hey, what you got?
Okay, so classic air quotes. When the movie first came out back in the day, and I'm the one that recommended this, by the way. So I'm just I'm the one saying, hey, we should watch Menace to Society, right? So now I'm about to,
you did that,
about to dog the shit out of it because, like, look, I didn't like it back then. I thought maybe I could sit there and rewatch it again and kind of like find the gems in it. And other than launching the careers of certain young actors, you know what I mean? I couldn't really find the gems in it. The acting was so bad. The cuts were bad. Like it was kind of like we're just grabbing all the tropes of gangster, living and throwing it all together in a non-narrative because it was just a chapter. Like it was chapters of. It wasn't. Look. This is like one of the Hughes brothers' first films, right? I think it's their first film, right? So I'll give them that. I mean, right out the gate, you took a subject matter that most Hollywood execs probably would never touch, right? And you got a facsimile of what living in the hood and being a menace to society would be. All the factors are there, right? It makes it almost like it's apologetic, like he didn't have a choice in his life, and so on and so forth. Even though all throughout they're trying to show him choices of how he can change his life. But during the time when this movie came out, this is during the Kamala Harris Super Predator era and all that kind of stuff. Like that excused a lot of people. You know what I mean? That kind of behavior excused a lot of people. And to your point, Sev, how many people took this movie in the wrong way? Too many. Like too many people idolized this movie and thought that this is what being gangster was about and all that good stuff. And it's just recklessness. It was just stupid. And like my man, dog, like his boy dog, like he got him killed. Like that's the thing. Like he's the one that got him killed because of just never being a good friend. He was psychotic and crazy. But then everybody in that whole bit was psychotic and crazy. So what end do you think was gonna happen at all? And it was still anticlimactic because you knew exactly what was gonna happen as far as he was gonna die. He's not gonna have his happy ending. He's not going off to Atlanta to be with Jaden Pickett and his little in it. And that situation is weird. I don't know if we even want to go there. It's kind of interesting how life imitates art because he was 18 when all this was happening, and Jada had to be because her character had to be much older because the dude that she was with was like his father, right? Because like in the very beginning of the film, he comes out and he's like what, 7 years old, and this dude's a grown ass man. Right? He's got a 5-year-old son now when this dude's 18. So it's like a big brother, right? And Jada hitting up on him, talking about let's go to Atlanta together and all that kind of stuff, but talking down to him and keeping him kind of in her pocket. It's kind of interesting, Will Smith. Anyway, but it's whatever. This movie is not, it didn't hold up for me. I didn't like it to begin with, so actually it did hold up for me. It held up to just all the worst things. And I don't know. I look at it now and I go classic trash. Yeah, this is a classic trash movie. The acting is so bad. God damn. But hey, shout out to Too Short. He was in that movie. He was probably one of the best parts of that movie. Just popping up with a shotgun,
Salute to Short.
Keeping it minimal.
Oh man.
Anyway.
It was probably 4th or 5th time I watched Menace to Society when I said, this nigga O-Dog can't act, yo. I don't believe him. Tyron Turner at times made me believe Kane was Kane, but not in the turn-up times, more in the times where he was being more contemplative, sad, emotional.
I don't know.
Yeah, the confusion. Absolutely. Yeah. That seemed very real for him. So I was like, word, okay. At least at times, Kane gives me something that I can hold on to in regards to his performance. So I know that there's something there. If they train him up, he might turn into something. He didn't really, but throughout the course of the movie, what I saw was, now mind you, at this time, I don't know a whole lot about what's happening in California. I know what I heard in rap songs. I've been to California one time at this time, and it was a short stay, and I didn't move around a whole lot from the neighborhood that we was in. So I'm having to rely on what I've heard, what I've read, what little bit I saw, and then what they're giving me in this movie. And as I'm watching it and I'm starting to add things up, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, that don't make sense. Wait a minute, that don't make sense. Case in point, when Harold and Kane got caught at the light, the van was beside them. All he had to do was hit the gas. Mind you, he was faded, as he said, but I thought that was odd. I thought they never gave us a reason for the callous nature of old dog. Maybe if I understood better why he's like this, it would make more sense to me. Because I'm not saying that because you have a light voice or you're a little guy that you can't be that person. Because I know some light voice little niggas that are that person that'll take your top off right now. The difference is, and I mean this in totality for Hollywood. I need y'all to understand this. There are certain things that you have had that you should have seen or experienced in your life to play a killer. Just saying. It's some things that you should have seen or experienced, or at least had someone to really explain to you the actual essence of what that's like, so that you can try to embody that. Because even being the most reckless hood nigga in the whole, there's something got you there, and whatever got you there and is keeping you out of prison should be studied. How they ain't caught you? You just out here randomly killing motherfuckers. Old dog was a serial killer. Nobody talks about that. He was a serial killer and wasn't even 18 years old. That was Kane's little homie.
Mm-hmm. You know,
the scene. I was saying the scene in the beginning. Yes, that was wild. But then I asked myself, how many times has old dog came in that store and stole for real? They left a lot of stuff out. And I know that you got to truncate shit to a certain. It's some shit you could have left out. Honestly, some shit you could have left out. The whole shit with Stacy in Kansas. Nobody gives a fuck. That could have been an afterthought. You could have mentioned that at some point, have Stacy walk by and wave, and we could have been done with that shit. I'm just saying, man. The only reason why I hail it as a classic for myself is I can't call it anything but that with as many times as I've watched it. There's no way I could watch a movie that I deem terrible this many times. You know what I'm saying? But it's only because I recognize at times what they were trying to present. So I'm seeing into it as opposed to actually watching it. Okay, I see what you did there. What really should have been going on is here. But I get what you're trying to say. Keep going. Okay. Charles Dutton's character should have been given greater breadth in the movie. He's the best actor in the whole film. You know what I'm saying? Give him more screen time. Don't make Sharif such a pussy. Yeah, you trying to have knowledge and you trying to be down for, but come on, man. It's just like you said. It took all the tropes and exaggerated them, and for that I'm like, But hey, man, the Hughes brothers, hey, they got much better. I gotta give it to them. They improved by a ton. So hey, salute to them. Salute to them.
See, I think you hit it on the head though. I didn't believe any of them, so it felt like none of the characters were really real. They weren't developed enough to be real characters that you cared about, and you cared about what happened to them. You were almost forced along to kind of watch what's going to happen, and because you paid your $7.50 at the time, you know, I'm not leaving this theater until I watch the end of this film, so I'm going to see how this turns out, right? But you already know. You know, this is the worst parts of the worst part. The grandparents are two-dimensional. They don't have any. Like, how do you not know what your child was up to for your kid, for your grandchild to have to come live with you, and then for you to say, "Oh, your mama and your daddy, if they were still alive, would be so proud of you." No, they wouldn't. Did you see how Samuel L. Jackson was in the very beginning? He gave two shits. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey.
Mom strung out. She didn't even know you existed. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I mean, it's just
You owe me money, motherfucker.
question.
Nah, but here.
The question the Hughes brothers and their authenticity of this movie. I wonder how much studio hand was in this movie to just be like, you know, no, we need somebody who's absolutely crazy. No, we need a womanizer. We need all these things that symbolize maybe, menaces to society. But I never had all of those things all at once, right? I didn't have the wild card friend with the womanizer, with the other, because otherwise we'd be fighting all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise they'd be stepping in each other's toes. It was always the one or two that you have that's there, but they don't always hang out all the time. So having them concentrated like that, and the cops not looking at everybody, you know what I mean? Like, not, like, and you didn't know what was going on in LA during that time frame. And everything they depicted was pretty accurate. The cops messing with you, picking you up and dropping you off in a different part of town.
That's
the little neighborhood that they live in, or a bunch of little bodega, like little small 1 to 2 bedroom houses, right? They're all kind of clustered together. So yeah, entire gangs would own those neighborhoods and stuff like that. And it's like a one way in, one way out to the situation. So that's real, but there's rules to all of that. There's more than just bunch of random kids sitting on stoops beating people up. There's way more than that. Somebody controls that whole area. If you're running drugs, there's somebody above him and so on and so forth. And so they just make it seem like, oh, anybody can just get into this. And yeah, he was brought into it, but they never explored that whole thing. There's a lineage that's a part of that. So there's
Right.
more to it than just gangsters being gangsters. And what they tried to show with him living up to his homeboy that was in jail and living up to what his father was, quote unquote, I guess, they didn't understand it. They didn't understand the depth of it. They didn't understand that this is his world and that he's looking at himself as being the prince to take over, these streets. You know what I mean? And it's real. It's like in England, kings fighting over the throne in England. It's the same thing on the street. It's as real to them, but they didn't get that. It was just kind of there, and he didn't know where he was or what he was doing. He was just reacting to everything, and it was just,
Yeah, I feel that.
And so I think like a lot of the stuff that you guys hit on, like I think that's actually why I do watch the movie so much and I do give the movie so much grace, is because I almost pick the movie apart and look at them as singular factors. And to your point, they kind of clustered everything, they truncated everything. There's obviously some editing issues in there because like they show that Old Dog is a drug dealer. Like that's when he kills the crackhead. He's trying to get drugs from him and everything. But it's like, okay, and that could have some significant impact on his psyche. But like that's literally the only time it gets brought up, and he kills somebody for it. And it's like, okay. But so I absolutely agree. You take all of these elements and they're not all right there all the time. But if you look at them singularly, so like the Kansas thing, I actually don't mind the Kansas thing being in there. Like I do agree that it didn't need to be brought up so much. But like with it being there and with them offering him to go too, that's why it's in there. It's not about Stacy. It's about them saying, yo, like you should come with us, because it shows that between that, Atlanta, they did a really poor job with his grandparents, because literally everything that they say is just Bible verse. And while that is a real thing for some, some of the older crowd, it's like you're not showing them as a positive influence like you're trying to. But to your point, Charles Dutton is that positive influence. So you could give more of that to him to say like, okay, like he does have positive influences, but with so much going on in the streets around him, like that can only have so much impact. And he has these multiple avenues to get out, but he's choosing to stay until he finally decides to go to Atlanta after, she corners him in the bedroom. And like doesn't let him leave. But so all of these factors, like I look at them as singular things, and then look at the psychological impacts of all of these things and how these singular events or like these singular like personalities impact the overall movement of the streets. And I think that's why I enjoy the movie, is because even with them turning the dial up to 1,000 on all of these characters, like if you level it back out, these are real things, just not quite so close, but they all do have impacts on the hood. And you know, that's the exploration that I'm constantly going down.
I think it's kind of a result of them not having a thorough understanding of the ecosystem of the ghetto. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you make the mistake of trying to jam all these things in. But you kind of have some leeway to say, okay, if you pull back here, you got room to give more screen time to the positive influence, so you can kind of drive home the point that he has options and he has someone trying to push him towards those options. If he can just walk away from what's happening out here, you know what I'm saying? If you make,
I feel some type of way about that trope about running away from the hood, right? That whole idea that the only way that you're going to make it is that you leave this situation instead of like actually trying to affect it from the inside, change it. You know what I mean? They are the youth, right? So they are the next generation that's going to be running them streets. So they don't have to sit there and do what they're doing. But again, they don't have positive influence except for the Dutton character, because I really feel like they didn't believe that there was a positive influence other than get the hell out of here, run. And that might be studio, that might be the Hughes brothers. I don't know. I can't say. But like there's a lot of tropes in there. Like Boondocks is completely created, right? Like what Gruder did was took Menace to Society and then moved them into the suburbs. And like what would happen now, right? So to Monster's point, if it was white, you know, this would how would you shake it up if you can you do that nigga shit in the street in the suburbs? No, you can't. We see that now. It's funny. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Even when white boys try to pretend to be that, it's ridiculous. Like all the like the crackhead, I'll suck your dick. Like all the memes, all the jokes, all the little lines, the one-liners come from Menace Society because it's over the top. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I almost when we first started talking about this, it was almost in the vein of like black exploitation. Can we look at some of these things? Because like we are talking about Superfly, we are talking about all the other ones, and that they, you know, as corny as it looks now, it was very serious back then. Menace Society, as corny as it is now, it was very serious back then, but it was corny back then. Like it was like at least my friends in California were all like, "Who does that? Oh, no one does that. Who says that? If you get carjacked, you give them the fucking car, dog. You just let them go. You don't even think twice about that." So it's just like just little things. It's just like it's
yeah, you can't be going out like Willie Lump Lump and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Going out like Willie Lump Lump.
Who's Willie Lump Lump, man? It's an inside joke.
Willie Lump Lump.
Well, explain the joke, bro.
Yeah. Like you can't say some shit like that and then not tell us why you said it. Like what the fuck? Willie Lump Lump? What the fuck you mean? That shit's crazy. Yeah.
I will say that Boys in the Hood to me like far surpasses like, you know, the events in Boys to the Hood are sporadic. Like you see a lot in Boys to the Hood, but you also see them just, you know, chilling on the stoop. You see them, you know, just hanging out in the living room, not going to a house party, not doing anything, just hanging out. Like there's no card games going, there's nobody drinking. They just chilling there. I mean, shit. I think at one point Ice Cube just got like a glass of milk or something. And it's like, yeah, like that's a real moment. Like not everybody got to have 40 in their hand.
Regular life
7 in the hood. Yeah. It's like they wake up and yeah, like, you know, somebody in the hood can wake up and just, you know, like drink some water, some milk or some shit. Like does my good, you know? So, you know, yeah. So yeah, it was always my preference. There's a lot of weirdness when it comes to Menace to Society. And, you know, so P, your point of like, okay, it's corny now, and looking back on it, it was corny then. Like, the people that spent time in the hood, or the people that were in the hood, we know that. The people that were just watching the movie, they didn't. So to them, it was like, oh my God, like,
holy shit,
that's what's happening in the streets. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, come on. So yeah, I think that there was, and unfortunately it happens a lot with, Black entertainment that is pushed to a white audience. And I don't even want to just say blaxploitation, which, like, I completely agree. Like, this borders on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
But just Black entertainment in general, we've said the same thing about hip hop. Like, it's used as protest, it's used as bringing a visual and real life stories of what's going on. But then when you take, rich white, studio owners, and they start to push it themselves, the story gets skewed, because it's just the things that are going to sell. And it seems very much like that's what this was. Like, Boys in the Hood was trying to give as real of a visual as possible of what the day to day was. And Menace to Society was like, here, let's take all of this shit and put it into an hour and a half and make sure that they get quote unquote everything. And it's like, yeah, but nah.
They got everything with the truth. They got everything.
Yeah, I think, as a filmmaker, like when I make a film, I'm trying to plant a seed of some kind of understanding of the subject matter, that we're talking about. I'm trying to put an underlying layer of maybe my personal morality or personal philosophy in there and that kind of stuff. But there are those directors, there are those, filmmakers that just do it by the formula, right? I gotta have a love interest, I gotta have the antagonist, I gotta have all those things, and nothing is actually. There's no depth in there. It's just we go by the numbers, we paint by the numbers, we make the film by the numbers. We know that in 10 minutes in, I got to give you something exciting, that kind of thing to draw you in. By 40 minutes in, I got to do this, by the third act, I got to make sure you feel this way, and that's what Menace Society tried to do. Like I said, it's one of their first films. So it's like, I can see them trying to push the formula and then trying to interject some depth, some nuance, but it didn't hit because there's too much going on there. Like, there's no real story, and that I can't say it represents the culture of the time correctly, to your point, Monster, because because there was no real life in any of that. Like, no one stands at a burger joint and just cusses a chick out for like 30 minutes. No one does that. If she would end up pulling a gun or calling the cops, like, at some point, no one just does that, right? To long enough for them to swoop up around that little walk that they do, which now fools try to emulate. This whole little what is this? Run up, like, I'm gonna run up. Just do the thing, man. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of exaggeration and a lot of coonery. You know what I mean? Like you could tell that the actors are not. They're not that. They're not gangsters. Like one of them dudes I know is a classically trained actor. Like, I seen him in Shakespeare in the Park type shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm down with you, niggas. You know what I mean? It just didn't feel right. And like I said,
I'm done with you, niggas.
Like, yeah, everything that comes
I'd like some of your finest crack.
You know what I mean? Like,
hello, homies.
That shit would have been hilarious because we're in LA. There's all kinds of different brothers out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that I kind of don't like about the movie is it ended up kind of saying that all LA people are like that. You know what I mean? All LA black folks, everybody in the hood is like that. This is the world you live in, because they never showed anything more than that block, really. They showed between Grape and Crenshaw, and that's like a 6 block, spot out of all of 300 miles of LA. You know what I mean? So it typecasts a lot, like you said. Everybody out who didn't grow up in the area, didn't grow up in California, right? Thought that's the way it was. Even to the point where Pac, when they were coming out with Death Row and all that, they thought, again, this is how it is. No, this is just that's an act. They're not really that kind of gangster. I mean, they're gangster in their hood, but they don't ride all up and down like I-5, the 101, just doing dirt. Like, that's not how it is. But everybody thought, if you're from California, you must be in a gang or something, Nah, like, some of us like to skateboard.
Aren't all you guys?
Some of us like to surf.
Aren't all you guys gangbangers?
Yeah, you know how many times I asked that when I got to Georgia and stuff? Like, people ask it. Just assume.
The biggest difference between how Boys in the Hood turned out and how Menace to Society turned out is kind of simple. John Singleton's from LA, and it runs through his blood. The Hughes brothers are two black Mormon twins from Detroit. Y'all were never qualified to make that movie in the first place.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up Boys in the Hood, because I wanted to get to John Singleton, because like, in order for the Hughes brothers to make that movie, it had to get approved by the white corporate, blessing. John Singleton didn't give a fuck. This is the movie. This is what the movie's gonna be. If somebody wants to give me money, cool. If not, there's money somewhere else. So yeah, to be able to show real, you have to be able to sacrifice the influence of fraudulent, and John Singleton was always willing to do that.
True that. Hell yeah, I agree. I mean,
Really great.
There's I think personally, if people like myself, who at the time, even not knowing California like that, I knew by watching the movies that Boys in the Hood was closer to the actuality of what was going on in California, as opposed to, what I saw in Menace to Society. Menace to Society was exciting to us because we were some young knucklehead thug ass niggas. So like, you know what I'm saying? We know a nigga like everybody in that movie. Even though we ain't from California, it's a nigga that we know on the East Coast that's just like that. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of the beginning of us realizing, man, maybe we ain't as different as these motherfuckers over here as we think we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of
Menace to Society, you can recognize certain things, and you can recognize, like, yo, I know a brother just like that. Like, they definitely turned it up, but yeah, like, that's him.
Oh yeah.
So you can recognize things. Boys in the Hood, I'm sorry, Menace to Society. Boys in the Hood, you can relate, because these things happen everywhere, but it's also sitting on the stoop just bullshitting. It's waking up and looking down the block to see what's going on, but just chilling and working those just everyday things in there, and still being able to display those characters in certain ways, like the complete opposite of brothers. like those are still things that you can recognize, but they also make it relatable. And that's one of the major like differences in the movie is being able to recognize versus relate.
I like that. Yeah, hell yeah. It makes perfect sense too. 'Cause I mean, shit. As much as we know somebody like that, like you said, I know that my initial thought is I know somebody like that. I mean, this is like that nigga on steroids, but like I know somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard. It was easy for me to walk away from Menace to Society feeling like. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was cool. Like I only went to see it in the theater the one time though. After that, it was all DVD, show it on TV, whatever. But I wasn't gonna spend money to go see it again. I went to the movies to see Boys in the Hood several times. Even one time they brought it back to the theater. I went to see it. So it's just the acting's better. The it's just better across the board. Better across the board. But the thing about Menace to Society that I do like, and I think Pete mentioned this early on, so many of the people I can point out in that movie, I've watched them become something so much more after that movie. So it was a springboard for a lot of young black and brown actors and actresses and people behind the cameras as well to get their careers going. So salute for that, if nothing else. But yeah, it's one of them movies like I'll say this. It's not about it. It's better than that. But you know, it definitely has.
You can't do that while I'm trying to drink my water, bro. It's not about it.
It's not about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, one of these movie discussions, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We got to talk about it. And I am, oh my God, you know, we got to talk about it and Baller Blocking. Two of my least favorite movies in the history of movies. But I watch them again because I find them absolutely hilarious. Because if you think that this shit was the hood on steroids, take some motherfuckers that ain't got the major industry behind them, and they trying to prove something, and that's on steroids. They on steroids with fentanyl in them. Like they on that extra strength shit. They on that extra strength shit. So yeah, we gonna get to them for sure, man. Oh shit. Oh, this was fun. It's shit. We went long as a motherfucker in there. Okay, all right, it's all good though. I ain't tripping. Shit, that was dope. Yeah, man. I think we should pick a movie. I think we should do this like once a month, maybe pick a movie and take a spin. You know what I'm saying? We'll hold off on about it for a while and have some substantive conversations before we get to that one, because that's gonna be all jokes. I promise you. Oh shit! Before we get out of here, man, 30 seconds to a minute with anything we had to talk about tonight. Monster List.
Book of the Monsters out. It's going to be dropping on streaming soon, but it's on Bandcamp right now. Give me your money because genocide ain't free. And I'm gonna go get with my lady, and I'm gonna do the test. Make sure she's real.
Oh shit! Oh, I knew it. Oh my God. P7, what's good, man?
What's good, man? Oh, so okay. Filmmakers out there, we need to hear your voices. If you're black, brown, Asian, whatever, be authentic, tell your stories. We need to hear your voices. Don't let these Hollywood execs or whatever is hot, you know, because they send out those little sheets every year about what stories are hot and what you should be trying to pursue. Don't listen to that stuff. Tell your story. Tell your story the most authentic way, and learn your craft, people. Learn your craft.
Yeah.
I love it. But other than that, Book of the Monsters out. You should definitely check it out because it's fire. And Gravitas is out, and it was fire, and it still is fire. And I listen to it almost once or twice a week. So, like, you should too. Yeah.
I would say so.
And if you're a white filmmaker, shut the fuck up. And stop with cheese boards. Everybody got cheese boards.
So mad about our meetings this week. I'm so mad about our meetings.
Yeah.
Cheese boards.
Cheese boards? Oh man, yeah. I don't. I'm cool.
That's a whole nother. That's
I
another
might get
story, man. That's
constipated or
another
some
story,
shit. I
another
don't know.
time.
I was just saying, shit. Oh man. Yep. Gravitas out now. Book of the Monster out now. Sun of the Morning on the way. Few and far between on the way. Yeah. Do yourself a favor if you haven't seen Menace to Society with grown up eyes. Go watch it again. And once you watch it again, be willing to have a conversation with your people and let them know that they crazy for thinking that there was some masterful acting going on. Yeah, Lorenz Tate, don't ever play a gangster again. Stop doing that shit. Yeah, that's all I got for that. But yeah, yeah, man. Mad SCP shit on the way, man. We making it do what it do. The network's still going up, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to the guys over at All Purpose, Evan Almighty, Phantom. We did not get to do Monday Night Live this past week. However, we'll be back in effect Monday night. Also, we have the All Purpose Podcast Fantasy Football League jumping off. Feel free to hit us up with a DM on Facebook or Instagram, or you can hit us at panthapolitics@gmail.com. It's $10 entry fee. The winner gets $100. This is our first year, so we're going to start small, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to it. Right now, we're just having fun. Of course, you already know what it is, man. Salute to Echo Limitless. One love to my people over at Pretty Kings, man. I hope y'all doing good out there in Hawaii, for sure. You know what I mean? Salute to Mr. Clay. Everybody that's fucking with the network, make sure you subscribe, comment, share, leave a 5-star rating on Apple. All that shit, man. All the shit. Leave us comments on Spotify and all that shit. We'll holler back at you. I guarantee you we will. You know what it is, man. For Monster, listen to P7. I am Seven Da Pantha. We are Pantha Politix Podcast. We'll catch y'all next time, man. Never forget, we fly it in everybody, man. You did.